Hello everyone. Right, today I'm going to show you a cool little project that I built this month. It's a school management system that can be used for managing daycare schools and kindergarten schools. Obviously it can be customized to handle like a larger institution, and so yes, I'm going to just walk you through the application, just a basic demonstration of how it works. Okay, so I hosted it here. And so let's see, my network is slow. This might not go well, but let's see. So I was actually planning to build a landing page or like a website for the school. I got lazy and I just focused on the main application, so who knows, maybe I'll finish it up. So for now, let's just go through the application itself, see how it works. So basically we have there's a dashboard. We get a basic overview of everything: the total number of students, the revenue that the school is making, that's from school fees and all that, the payroll that has been processed, attendance for today, and a basic chart for the students based on the agenda. We have the enrollment, the attendance summary by classrooms, and then recent invoices if you have any. And so before we walk through everything, we have the settings. Basically, under general settings, we're able to upload a new logo for the application. The principal signature, this will be used in receipts and other portions of the application where you will need the signature of the school principal or the head teacher. So we have the name of our school, the slogan, we have the address. You can add other details, and then basically we can update it and then save it. And so when I finish working on the landing page, this will be used to either enable or disable the landing page. And then we have send notifications, which basically allows you to send notifications, whether report cards, to the recipients, which could be like the guardians. And so in this case, if you want to send the students' latest report card to all the guardians, right, you basically select report cards, select all guardians. If you want to send it to a specific guardian, you select the guardian, then you select the classroom. If you want to send it via classroom, basically you select the classroom, and then you pick the classroom that you want to send it to. So this will work if you want to send a report card to a specific classroom to their parents. If you want to send to a specific guardian, you basically select specific guardian. You select the guardian you want to send it to, and then you choose whether you want to send them an SMS or an email. So you choose whether this report card is an invoice. Invoice here is the fees, or is it the admission letter if you want to send them any of that. So you do that. Now this custom SMS here will be used to send custom messages to specific numbers. So in case it's not actually the guardian that you want to send a message to, you just want to send an SMS from the school to a particular number, you can use this to send it. We have grades. The grades is used to set the grade that you give, so your grading system. Basically the name of the grade, where it starts at. So if you score between 80 and 100, you get an A1, B2 for 75 to 79, in that order. So you can basically customize or set your own grading system using this. We have the message logs, which is just going to log all messages that have been sent from the system outside, right? So whether it's email, it's SMS, so all the messages that are sent here will be logged in the message logs down here. We have roles. Basically the roles will be used to, you can create multiple roles, give permissions to various portions of the application to any user that you want, right? So if I want to create a new role, just click on new role, if I want to, let's say, teacher, and if I want to give them all the permissions, just check, and then all of it will be checked. But if you want to only give them, let's say you want them to be able to view only academic sessions, allowances, and you basically check all the permissions you want. If you want to give them access to certain pages, you can check it if you will. So that's if you want them to have access to the general settings page, here you do that. If you want them to be able to also send messages, you do that. We have widgets, so if you want them to have access to some of the widgets in the dashboard, you check those. And now academic sessions. So academic sessions are just like academic gear, right? And so you can basically set academic sections for the school. So here we have 2024-25, when it starts and when it ends. We have attendance sessions, basically morning, afternoon, or whichever time of the day you want attendance to be taken, right? You can add, edit, or delete any of them. We have the terms. We have the term that belongs to academic sessions, right? So you could have term 1, term 2, and 2024-25 academic year. Basically, that's how it works. So you can add multiple terms. Then we have users in the system. Those are the people that you give access to the system, right? This could include guardians, could include teachers, or even students, depending on how you handle that. But I have not actually handled the students part or the guardians part for that matter. But right now, you could give access to what teachers, and then just add normal users. So if the person is not a user, you just want to add your own custom user to the system. You basically enter the person details, you select the type of user, and then you select the role that you created earlier on. Once you do that, then you create, the person will be able to log in. Now with that said, if you want to add students, you go to students, and here we have quite a lot of things. Here, if you want to promote an entire class, you click on promote, you select the class. So if you want to promote students from class baby A to that of baby B or any other class, you do that. But you cannot promote students from this same class to the same class. It won't work. Okay, so right now let me show you something. We have let's see, we have baby B here, we have baby B here. Let me see. Alright, so we have another baby B here. So I want to promote all baby B's to KG2. Okay, so if I want to do that, all I have to do is go here, select baby B, and then we can select KG2A. And so take note of the baby B students. If I confirm, and so it's being processed, and so all the baby B students will be changed automatically to what? KG2A, as you can see. Alright, so just a sec. Now if I want to add a new student, I can just click on new student, and then you fill in the details: the first name, the last name, the middle name, dates of birth. You can upload their pictures. We have the academic information. So the admission number is auto generated. We have the academic session, so you select that. You can also check the status. You can also assign them to a classroom. Now one of the things that I did was fee discounts. So it's one of the interesting features of the application. We have fee discounts. Basically, there are situations where you want to discount. You want to give some students a discount. Let's say they are on scholarship or they are on sponsorship. So what you do is you specify the discount for that particular student. And anytime we are generating invoices for their fees, that percentage will be taken out of their fees, and so they wouldn't pay the same fees that everybody else is paying. Okay, then we have the contact information, where you can basically add guardians of the student. You can add as many guardians as you want. You can also add their emergency contact. Then we have other information. If you want to add or upload files for that specific student, you can do that. Then the notes here could be their medical information or any other notes that you want to keep in the system for that particular student. You do that. Okay, now we have the guardians here. This is basically pulling all the data for guardians, like student guardians that were added. Okay, and of course if you want to manually add a particular guardian, you can do that, and you can also assign a guardian to multiple students. Basically, you add as many students to that particular guardian as you want, and then it will be automatically handled by the system. Now you should note that when you are adding guardians, we are sending messages. Okay, so guardians who are primary are the ones that we actually send the messages to. So if I check here, so guardians that are set to primary, that's the primary guardian, is the one that we send messages such as the invoices and that of the academic reports. So it's only primary guardians that we send those data to. Okay, then we have attendance. Attendance is basically the attendance records from the system, and currently we only have attendance for students. We could have attendance for teachers if you need it. We can implement that. And so the marking of attendance is used to mark attendance for a particular classroom. And what you do is basically you select a classroom, then you select the date and the session, whether it's morning or afternoon, and then students that belong to that particular class will be loaded automatically, and then you can check whether they were in or they were out, right? And then if you want to add a note whether they were late or they were doing something else, you basically add that, and then you save the attendance. Okay, and so if I'm marking for baby A, let's show my computer. Alright, and so if I do that, basically just save that. So one student has been marked, and so if I go back to the attendance, I should see what the one who recorded, so the attendance and then the one who recorded it. Okay, then we have classrooms. You can manage your classrooms from here. So basically click to add a classroom, and then the levels, you select a level for that classroom, select the subjects that are taught in that particular classroom, the name of the classroom, the capacity is basically how many students it can contain. Once you do that, you save that. Okay, so let's say testing classroom. Let's say I want to make the capacity 100. Basically save that. Now we have GHS1. We have testing. Sorry, you can see that here on GHS1. You see the classroom that I selected. We have the levels. So levels, and then the subjects that are taught are automatically pulled too. So it's not a must to select the subjects. You can just say level 200 without selecting the subjects. It'll still go through basically. Now we have subjects. So this is going to be all the subjects that is taught in the school. There's phonetics, numeracy, all the subjects that you teach, you add them. And of course, if you notice, you see that each of the tables has an import button that allows you to import the data. So you can basically import without having to add them manually. So if you have a bunch of classrooms or a bunch of levels that you want to import, you do that instead of adding them manually. You have exam marks. So this is one of the crucial portions of a school management system, right? And I did my best to make this as simple as possible. So basically you can add exam marks like manually, like you can do that by selecting the exam, by entering the exam. So enter the exam name, the academic session, the subject, the student, and then the score that they got for that particular subject, and then the grade, right? But you don't want to do this when you have, let's say, 1,000 students in the school. So what do? You import the data, okay? So you go to import, download a sample. Let's put that in my downloads. I'm gonna open that up. Okay, so basically what we have here is the exam, the template for importing the exam. Basically this will be, let's see, our end of first term exam. Let's say this is 2024-2025 academic year, right? The student ID, so we basically enter the admission number of the students. And so the data you enter has to match the information that we have in the system. And so this is our academic session ID 2024-2025, like I entered here. Then the student ID here will be the admission number of the student. So you basically enter that. I'm going to go to the students table and I'll just copy the information from there. So you have the admission number for this. Copy and paste it there. So we paste. So that's it. Then you enter the subject name. So the subjects, remember we have subjects here. This could be what? Phonics, numeracy. So if it is numeracy, you just enter numeracy, and then how much did they get? 90. And also, so you see here the grade is not actually necessary. Leave it empty, and the system will automatically hold the data based on the grading system that we set down here, if you remember that. And so if you want, you can manually put that there, but if you also want, just leave it. Then we have the remarks, whether they did what, excellent or poor, or whatever remarks you want to put there, you do that. Once you're done with it, you basically import it. So I'm going to go to the exam. Let's see, story time. Let's see, 89. I'm going to save this. Then we're going to try to import that. So let's go to our exam marks here. So we're going to import that right here. Importer. Then we import. So that's begun. Once it's finished, I'll get a notification. And so while that is running, we have report cards, which basically contains the performance of the students. Obviously, these are randomly generated data, so it doesn't actually reflect marks from the exams. Okay. Because I'm hosting this on a live server, it might take a while for the background job to finish running. Alright, so we have fee structure. The fee structure here basically allows you to structure the fees for a particular academic session and the term, okay? And so if I want to create a new fee session, I'll give it a name. Maybe just testing structure, okay? Then you select the academic session, the term, you select the classrooms. And so what happens is that in most school management systems, they only allow you to generate like fees for the fees are based on specific classrooms, right? But what makes this different is that it allows you to set a fee structure for multiple classrooms. And so if you want all students in this class that we have selected to abide by the structure here, you basically have to do that. Select the classrooms that you want. You enable gender discount. Gender discount here is sometimes in some schools they do not like females are given certain discounts, okay? And so you can do that. If you want all males or females to be discounted, let's say 5%, basically specify 5%, and then you begin to type in the items. So this will be useful because when we export or when we send the invoices to the guardians, we want them to know that, okay, this is the amount they are paying for this particular item, right? We want the fees to be broken down. We don't want to have a situation where we just start, okay, your kids are paying 1,000 cedis, but they don't actually know what they are paying for. And so you specify each item and what it costs. And so feed and fee, all those things, specify the amount, and then you save it. And so if I wanted to say, okay, we get 400, and this people get what? Basically, then you add your own descriptions. This is optional. Then we save that. So our fee structure has actually been created, right? Great. Now the fee structure items, if you want to have that, there we go. So there are fee groups. I'll have to move this upwards. So this is where you enter each group and then the name each group. So basically if it is feeding, if it is clothing, if it is whatever it is, you specify it and then you can utilize it in the fee structure. Alright, and so what happens is when we get a fee structure here like this one, we have all the structures. If I want to generate the invoices, I basically click here, generate invoices, and then all the invoices will be generated for that particular structure. And so right now we don't have any invoices, okay? But if I go to invoice and I say, okay, I want to generate invoices, basically confirm that you want to generate. So we're generating for this particular fee structure, term 2, right? So all the students in this selected classrooms will be what? For this particular academic session will actually be an invoice will be generated for them. And so let's go to our invoices. It's still processing in the background. Okay.